Hello. The original intent of this channel was to go to regattas, Wednesday night sailing, to really give you a good flavor as to what just racing around Cairns is like. It's a lot of fun. I see a lot of stuff online, but it's usually about, hey, we're gonna go cruise the Caribbean, and not a lot of lake sailing. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. But this coronavirus, it's really turned out to be bust, because we can't sail, my yacht clubs are closed. And so we've been reduced to doing e-sailing. So we're fixing to log on. It's Saturday morning. I'm probably just not gonna show you the whole thing because I'm not gonna race the whole time, but this is the Easter regatta that I've never gotten to sail in because we've always had to go to San Antonio to be a family for Easter. So I'm really not good at the virtual sailing game, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna plug in and give you some snippets as we're going through it. After that, I've got a couple things from the sailing world that I thought I would show you, just kind of around the house that we had, the stuff that I've collected over the years. I think it's kind of cool. And then we've got a little sailing video that we did, I guess about 2 weeks ago. It's horrible, but I'll include it just to kind of see. We took the Sabre out for a little cruise, quarantined in place on the boat, and that was a lot of fun. We're gonna go out there today, but it's gonna be blowing like 20 to 30. So we'll probably just sit on the boat and drink wine, which is, I guess I could bring you out for that if you want to see us just sit and shoot the breeze. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to pause this, log in, show you a little bit, and I don't know how to do the screen capture. I'll learn how to do that because we're going to be racing on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. If you have any interest in joining us, feel free. You can contact me wherever down there is. I'm sure I'll figure out to put a link in or something. I'm pretty new to this. So anyway, without further ado, I will show you probably a start. And then a couple legs. We have this other app that we use so we can all talk to each other. So if there's any swearing, I'm gonna have to apologize right now. So I gotta log in, it's time. So talk to you a bit.
On overhead.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, we're lining up for the start here. If you can see, there's 38 seconds left. The black boat
I have
right in front of me.
SPMG. Don't have the start line.
This is the start. We're doing a practice race, so I'm gonna bail out right after the start. If you can see here, we've got, looks like 10 boats on the line today for our Easter regatta. Waiting on a few more, 20 seconds to go. We're racing stars. Let's see if I can take all these clowns up. Here we go, watch this. 10 seconds. 7, I got a lane. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Uh-oh.
Andrew, nice start. Yep.
All right, now we're off. I'm gonna bail out so I can race this race.
With no cheat.
All right, so now we are to the part of the exciting video, episode 3, where we're going to talk about some of the cool sailing memorabilia. I actually pulled a couple books that I thought were kind of cool. Stuff that sailors collect. Again, reaching for content. All right, so the first thing I have, there's a good story behind this paddle. I got this from my dad when I was in high school. It's survived through my high school years, my fraternity house, almost 24 years of marriage, till last year when my daughter decided to have a party, the junior sailor, and a couple guys were over and decided to use it as a paddle, as you would in a fraternity. So, but they did a really good job of repairing it. So, this is the paddle from the 1974 M20 Nationals that was held. See that okay? There's the crack. Thank you, Alvin. That was held at the Sailagee Yacht Club in Lake Fort Gibson in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My dad had an M20. A guy named Burdett Blue convinced him that it'd be a great family boat. Anybody knows anything about the M20? It's a high-performance racing scow. So it was Mom and Dad did race this regatta. In fact, I think this right here, now I bring the paddle in, is a photograph of that very regatta. And I think that if you look closely, that's my mom and dad right there. So not a lot of pictures were taken in the 1970s of racing, but so that was I always keep this by my bed. My mom gave it to me. I love it. It's It's a great picture. Speaking of nationals, this is my uncle used to race Highlanders, and he decided that he wanted to drive his Highlander from Cleveland, Ohio, down to Corpus Christi, 1963. And at regattas today, they probably won't get away with doing this, but in the 60s, when 80% of the people smoked, they gave away ashtrays. So this is the Highlander International Corpus Christi Yacht Club, 1963. So I always thought that instead of t-shirts, we should do ashtrays and regatta, and I think that'd probably get shot down pretty quick. But you know, it's kind of cool. It's something to a little discussion point. Here's a patch that I found in my dad's toolbox when he retired. We got, of course, they were downsizing, so what happens when your parents downsize? The kids get all the stuff, and since I'm the only sailor in the family, I got the toolbox and all the tools, and it's a cool mahogany tool. It's really cool. I'll show it in another episode. Found that patch in there, and I actually put that on my kid's life jacket. Both my kids got 2 patches when they started sailing. They were small, and I kept one just as a memorabilia. Here is Lawrence Jacob Burgee. The AYC was founded in 1960. This Jacob, my dad joined when we moved to Texas in 1975. This Burgee has been with us. The first year we went to the British Virgin Islands was 2002. We didn't go in 2003, but this Burgee has been on every cruising boat vacation that we've been on since 2004. So it's got BVIs 2004, 5, and 6. We went twice that year. 07, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 08, BVI 09, BVI 11, SVIs in 13, and BVIs in 14. And this actually, I don't think I put, and then there's Croatia. We went there in 2016 for our 2020 anniversary. So, but this guy is going to stick with me forever. It'll go with me on every trip we go on, if there's a sailboat involved. A couple books here that I thought were kind of cool. My grandfather being a sailor as well, when he passed away about 5 years ago, they had a bunch of sailing books, and of course, you know, you get the sailing books because I'm not the only sailor in my family, but we do have I'm more passionate about it. So this is a book called Know Your Boat, which I thought was kind of cool, and it was published here in 1946. So I decided to go through and look up some classes that we may know today. And there's one right here that I think is kind of cool. We have a few of these at Corinthian Sailing Club, is the Lightning class. And if you see there, it's covering it. But the Lightning, I love the term here. The Lightning, a fast-growing class. And then they have just a bunch of day sailors. There's another one in here that I thought would be kind of interesting. Find it, don't want to worry you too much. Should have here's the Comet, which is still around today. An old class. But there's I love looking at these old books. They just crack me up. Here's the Moth, which the Moth today is a design class that you could hydrofoil on. But here it is, back in the day, as a little thing. It's always been a design class. So, you know, this is I'm not going to pronounce this on Facebook or on YouTube, but that's good. You're not calling a boat that today. But they also have a star in here and kind of talks about like general maintenance of a boat, how to go about it. It's an interesting read. So kind of a cool little book. This one is, I've only looked through it a little bit, but kind of covers all the basics. It was published in, let's see here, 1936, and it's called Learning to Sail. So my grandfather used to have this, but there's beating, reaching, running. They cover classes. They've got how the sail works. You know, it's I'm sure the rules are quite different today than they were back then. But you know, it's an interesting. I just kind of skimmed through it. This book's not in very good shape, so I don't try to get too much into it. But you know, it's kind of a cool little read. Here's a couple newer books. This one I always recommend getting. Understanding the Racing Rules. So it's got some good points. You can tell I have it bookmarked, but I carried this with me, including my rule book to most regattas, just in case you disagree with me. Sailing Spark by Buddy Melgus. sure he remembers signing it for me. My parents got this for me when I was in high school for Christmas. This is one of my favorite sailing books. Sailing books generally suck, but this one is really good. It's called The Brilliant Mechanic. It talks about the America's Cup that was raced in San Francisco. Larry Ellison. It's awesome. I'll show you some of the flags around here and kind of look at my have like Fergies I've collected over the years in my room back here. This is the kids' old playroom. I'm just on the computer, but I'll get my phone out and show you some of the flags I've collected. This is York. My dad's done it too. So of course, when my dad gave us the boat, guess who gets twice the amount of flags I've got? So a couple books I highly recommend reading, especially if you're new to sailing, is Northview Trim. It's a very good book. It talks a lot about sail shape, what you need to know. Especially I'm looking at this a little bit more since I actually have a jib, which I haven't sailed with in quite a while. And then this one is Performance Racing Tactics. Anybody getting into sailboat racing needs to buy this book. Really. And there's another one called Start to Win. I couldn't find my copy, but that is also a must read. The Start to Win was written in the 70s, but it shows some really interesting things. They took like oil and would show you how the wind curves around the sails. And kind of like, it's a great read. But this one is highly recommended. The thing I like about it is it kind of breaks down in little short snippets. So you can just like, oh man, I had a good race, or I screwed up here. I want to go look at, I should have done this, that, or the other. And then you kind of look through this and kind of helps you out. So. So this is there's no really emotional attachment to this at all. I just kind of thought it was cool. Saw it at a garage sale. I'm like, this is really neat. So this is when we went back to Australia to win the America's Cup, Dennis Conner in 1986. So this America's Cup, don't look for that. That's for you youngsters out there, all too maybe have seen this video. That was the old American Express tagline back in the 80s. Don't leave home without it. So, but I've got some more stuff I'll show in the future, but kind of reaching for things to put since we're not racing. We're also going to have in this one, I did have one start of one of the races yesterday when we were doing the Easter regatta for the Dallas Laser Fleet. But the cool thing was we actually, I only got to do 3 races, got other stuff to do. But I turned on like the Vector Made Good, and I got second place in the last race I raced. So I've been getting my butt kicked by all these young kids, so it made me feel pretty good. So anyway, that's what we got right now for some memorabilia. If you'd like to see anything else, like what I have in my gear bag or anything like that. Tomorrow we have Tuesday night racing with Viridian Sailing Center, and then Wednesday we're going to do some more racing with the on the VR with the folks over at Corinthian Dallas Laser Fleet. And it's not just VLF. We've got a bunch of people from Corinthian and other folks who's logging in from Marsh Creek and other clubs in the area. So, but those are a few things I have in here. I'm gonna go to my phone and I'm gonna show you some of the flags I have in my little called the Hattendorf yacht club. It's a flame for the kids back in the day, but no one comes back here. It's clean. So I got to decorate the way I wanted, and you'll kind of see it's the geyser. So I'm gonna put that, get on the phone, show you some flags, and then publish this video and. See you next time. One other thing I want to show you, and this one is got a kind of a human story behind it as well. So this is probably 1999. The Arlington Yacht Club had a fleet Sunfish, and we decided that we were going to race our club championship in Sunfish in a round robin elimination type format. And so we had it set up where it's really cool, do match racing. And then, everybody could sit on the dock and watch the sailors sail. And we probably had, I don't know, probably 40 of our members out there watching the races. And, at the time I was racing them sea scows. I've been a scow sailor all my life. I'm used to sailing a boat like this. If anybody knows what scow sailing is, it's one of a 20-degree heel. And it was light wind. I was a little heavier back then. So anyway, long story short, we started racing. I can't remember who beat me in the first round, but I won a race, then I lost a race, and so I was in the consolation bracket. So if you didn't get through that, I was in the top 6, but only the top 5 were going to get trophies. Of course, who really cares in a club championship anyway? It's the first place winner that is the club champion. So I come in to do a boat swap, and I walk off the boat, and the trophies that we had, one of our members had made, a guy named Steve, were really cool looking stained glass, and they were like a cutout of a Sunfish sail, and he kind of mimicked all the, you know, we bought these sunfish used, and so they all had different, you know, colors and stripes and whatnot on them. And so my wife, who we've known this video, looked at me and she's like, you better start sailing faster because I want to bring home one of those trophies. And I turned around in front of probably 40 people and I looked at her and I go, oh, you'll win your trophy. I'm not going to lose. And I promptly went out and got my ass kicked. It's hilarious. Ha ha ha. So I got sixth and everybody had, I mean, literally to this day, there's not many people left from 20 years ago out there, but yeah, it was one of those that people still give me a hard time about that. But, so we get pregnant for the first child. Met her, Aubin, good sailor. And so Steve decided that we're having a baby shower, and of course he gets invited. AYC was a small club. We had about 100 families, and it was really a tight-knit group, very family-oriented. And so my friend Drew had a baby shower for us, and so Steve brings over, and so he made us, gotta back up a little bit, this. So it's a stained glass window with all the sunfish. These sails actually match the sails that we had at the club. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I hate the sunfish. It's a crappy little boat. Sorry all you sunfish people. I know, hey, you're loyal to it, get it. Some people say my boats are crazy, but you know, anyway, I just was, I see that every day and it just still to this day kind of brings a chuckle to me because I'm like, damn boats. So anyway, that's one thing I want to show you just because it was, to me, it makes me laugh because, you know, it's one of those, he who talks the smack gets his ass kicked. And so, you know, I just remember just spinning around on my heels and just looking at my wife and say, oh, you'll get that trophy. And of course, I go out and get beat by my friend Ellen. So, you know, don't you, Ellen? So, all right. All right, here's one thing I forgot to show. This is something that came out of my grandparents' house, but I thought it was kind of a cool little thing. So don't give a shit, ever give up the ship. So here's my flag collection of Burgies. Like I said, I've got a bunch that my dad gave me that I used to be able to recite every single one of these, but can't do that anymore. So this wall right here, we start with this. This is obviously the Caribbean flag, and this is the Viridian Sailing Center flag, and the Onondaga flag. I'm a member of all three of these. I'm currently Commodore at Viridian and active in the junior program at CSC, and AYC is not doing much these days. This flag right here is Edgewater, and then these flags down here are all clubs that are in the Texas Sailing Association. So we go, they've been traveling the circuit, like for example, this is Houston Yacht Club here, this is Palacios, this is DCYC, Lakewood, Fort Boat Club, Austin, Grapevine. That's where we keep my boat. And then just all the way down at the end here. So then it starts to, these are flags where it kind of mixes with my dad's and what I had. This is a flag I got at the White Bear Yacht Club in Minnesota. We raced the M20 Nationals there when I was a kid. This is the Milford Yacht Club. I used to race there when I was in college. I raced on J27. This is the Golden Gate Yacht Club that you would recognize from the Billion and the Mechanic. The funny thing was with this is when we went to San Francisco, we went into this club and it's a little member run program. They got like a bartender, not much, and they were packed. And they were like, you know, hey, you can't come in. We're having a party and all this, that, and the other. So we went to the St. Francis Yacht Club, which is just up the way. I mean, it's 100 yards away. And it's a hoity-toity, super nice club. And they were like, come on in, and gave us temporary membership and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was kind of funny. This is Shreveport, one of my favorite places to sail. Had a couple MC Nationals there. This is Lake Eustis. I sailed in the Midwinters MCs. This is Cleveland Yacht Club. This is Mentor Harbor Yacht Club, where my grandfather started sailing back in the 50s. Right here is the MC Class Burgie. I got that at the Barbados Yacht Club. They actually closed and went in and said, hey, can I get a flag? And I said, sure. This is my ex-Commodore flag from AYC. This one right here is kind of funny. It's the Bay of Pigs Yacht Club. Basically, that was back when Buddy Melgus raced in the America's Cup, and his boat was called America Cubed. So they call them the Cubans. So get it, Bay of Pigs. If you don't, then read a history book. So here is my dad has gone to, looked like 5 or 6 Sabre World Cups. This is the one I attended with him when we took the Sabre and ran it aground in the Long Island Sound and almost ripped the keel off the bottom of the boat. But I didn't go to any of these. But here's one of my favorite clubs in the world, Keystone. There's America Cube. Waikiki, got that on vacation. Visser. If you ever go to the British Virgin Islands and go sailing, you need to donate to Visser. It's called Virgin Islands Search and Rescue. It's all volunteers. I would highly recommend doing that because the one year we didn't, I almost killed my mother. So it's good karma, and when they ever ask for money, I always give it to them. Here's a couple of the flags, I'm sure you recognize some of these. This is like an English Royal Yacht Squadron flag. I don't know where it's from. So anyway, and here is, this is gonna go away soon, but last year the kid won the District 15 Radial Championship. There she is. So got a big trophy, but I don't know what we're gonna put up here after she gives it back. I mean, it's massive. And then not too other exciting things. Here's one of the trophies I did for Viridian. We actually did wine, and I drank the wine. So, but here's the Texas State Championships 06. I won that regatta. But yeah. Anyway, well, hope that if you have any questions about any of the flags or anything, just feel free to shoot me a note. Okay, we're gonna call this an addendum to the first video of this morning, which was about VR sailing. And now we have some pretty gnarly storms over that way, and it's pumping out there, so we don't want to go fight it. So we're just gonna hang on the boat here in the harbor. And we decided to hook Aubyn's hammock up, and I'm sure we did it wrong. Aubyn, any comments? No? There we go. And then so we're just kind of hanging around, not doing much. The bride is on her phone as well. You can say hello, honey? Yep. Yo. So, any comments on how to hang a hammock? Because I've never done it before. I hope this is okay. And I think the eye on the mast, which is already bent, would be fine. There's, kind of this little walk-a-dude. But I figure the lows that this jib height is supposed to take is pretty high, so I figure handle it. So, anyway. All right, kid, no final thoughts?
Nope.
Awesome. See, these videos are so fun to make. All right. Okay, one last thing before we go. This is why I love sailing and sailors. This guy is an LSU fan. He's an LSU fan. Look at that. Oh, look, the American flag's upside down, but the LSU flag is flying flat. So great. So cool. Oh, that's my finger. It's for the viewers, honey. You're not gonna play?
Floating.
Yeah, not a lot of breeze.
Not much wind out today.
No. But it is a pretty day in Lake Grapevine.
Better than being quarantined in the house.
Yes. So here we are.
Hashtag COVID-19.
Oh God. It's blowing about 4. And cruise around, there's a little pup over there.
Oh, there's a big spider though. Can you get rid of that?
Hold on, stand by. I gotta hop into action here.
And to kill a huge spider.
Yeah, it's dead. There's the remnants of it right by the foot.
Baby spider right there.
That's okay. And we're just waiting for that pup to come. Whoa. All right, well, we're gonna hang out in place for a little while. Give you a little more update here as hopefully the breeze freshens up.